Ghana Education Service, The Law and the Ban on Corporal Punishment is an article written by Selassie Kawanu on March 11, 2019, found on GhanaLawHub.com. The Ghana Education Service in 2017 officially banned all forms of corporal punishment of children in schools in Ghana, as part of efforts aimed at promoting a safe and protective learning environment for children. The Ghana Education Service directed in January 2019 that a positive discipline toolkit, which gives alternatives to corporal punishments, be adopted by all teachers. The Director of Guidance and Counseling Unit of the Ghana Education Service, Ivy Kumi, on City TV's The Point of View, urged parents to take on teachers who cane their children as same amounts to an assault on the children. Interestingly, Section 31(I) of the Criminal Offences Act, 1960, Act 29, in Ghana provides that force or harm may be justified on the grounds of an authority to correct a child, servant, or other similar person, for misconduct. Force used in the correction or discipline of children in Ghana have over the decades included corporal punishments like caning, kneeling down, and spanking. Placing a ban on corporal punishments without a legislative amendment of Act the 29th of May not have the effective force of law needed to enforce the ban. This is because, going by the hierarchy of norms, a legislation passed by Parliament overrides a directive of a government agency operating under a ministry. As it stands now, a breach of the ban may not necessarily lead to a conviction for the offense of assault so long as it can be argued that the punishment was justifiable and reasonable. Disciplinary proceedings by the GES Disciplinary Committee may be all that a teacher will face. If the service after its research considers a ban on corporal punishments a good education policy, a legislative amendment should follow to strip corporal punishments of any remaining legality. In a related article on pulse.com.gh, entitled, Teacher Allegedly Lashes 13-Year-Old Pupil to Death, from May 27, 2023, by Raymond Owuseyi Johnson, a 13-year-old pupil of the Swedru Methodist B Primary School was caned to death by the teacher. Godfred Ankama, the pupil, reportedly died as a result of the lashes he received. He died en route to the hospital. Reports say the teacher, named Millicent, decided to whip the students for noise making. The deceased, Godfred Ankama, was supposed to receive 6 lashes for errors he had in his assignment. Despite warning, the teacher ignored his health issue and went ahead to strike the pupil's back. Godfred, upon reaching home, fell ill and was rushed to the hospital for treatment. His cough contained traces of blood in his mucus, and he was transferred to the Winneba Hospital but tragically died on the way to the hospital. A similar article also appeared on modernghana.com on July 9, 2009, entitled Teacher Canes Pupil, 8, to Death, reported by the Daily Guide. It was stated in this article that Favor Ohene, an 8-year-old pupil, was allegedly caned to death by her teacher, Sheba Manningson, who was in custody of the Kotababi Police, Accra, at the time the article was published. According to the mother, Comfort Ohene, who narrated the story to the Daily Guide, Favor, who was then a pupil of Providence School Limited, Kotababi, was mercilessly caned for not performing well in a mental and dictation test, so the child retuned from school on June 18, 2009, very frail. Upon questioning from her, the mum, the junior sister of Favor reported that Favor was whipped for failing a mental test. Mrs. Ohene continued that Favor complained of severe headaches and bodily pains, even after taking some painkillers. About 2 a.m. in the night, the parents realized the child was shivering heavily and still made complaints of headaches and neck pains. Mrs. O'Heen said she gave her a cold bath to calm her down, but Favor never stopped crying and complaining, so she was rushed to Corley BU Hospital, where she was pronounced dead at about 2:45 a.m., a few minutes after arrival. The suspect was arrested after a complaint was lodged with the Cotababi police. Autopsy of the child from the police hospital indicated that the child died from cerebral contusion. Now, the main question is, why has it become a challenge for most parents and teachers in Ghana to stop physically abusing their children and wards? According to www.mayoclinic.org, the risk of being an abusive person includes the following. 1. A history of being abused or neglected as a child. This point particularly is where almost all Ghanaians fall in. The point here simply means most abused victims become abusers themselves when psychological treatment is absent. Ghanaian children have since ages been spanked, caned, not respected, maltreated and abused openly and secretly to the extent that society has come to accept the use of force and violence on children as a normal way of correcting children, since almost everyone went through this as a child. The sad aspect of it is even when causing physical pain to a child becomes normal, for making mistakes in class exercises or tests. This is absurd, and only unmotivated and lazy teachers would hold on to such practices. 2. Physical or mental illness, such as depression or post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. 3. Family crisis or stress, including domestic violence and other marital conflicts, or single parenting. 4. A child in the family who is developmentally or physically disabled. 5. Financial stress, unemployment or poverty. 6. Social or extended family isolation. 7. Poor understanding of child development and parenting skills. 8. Alcohol, drugs or other substance abuse. In fact, almost all these above points given are massively in existence in Ghana. These points, together with the total absence of governmental support and control in Ghana, makes it very difficult to curb child abuse, of which caning, a form of physically causing pain to someone, is part of. Thanks for watching.